Hello and welcome to today's video. This is a little bit of a different kind of video to some of the other videos on my channel. It is Pride Month, so I thought what a better time to speak about this. So as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about my coming out story and how I have basically had boyfriends for the past 9 years or 8 years. Since I was 14, I'm now 22. Basically, ever since I was a teenager, I've always had a boyfriend, but now I am out as a lesbian. So I also was in a long-term relationship with someone that I thought I was going to marry. I thought we were going to be together for forever, and leaving that relationship was very hard. Like, it was a very difficult decision to make, but in the end it did turn out to be the right decision. And so basically the reason why I wanted to film today's video is because when I was in that situation, I needed to hear people tell their stories of how they went from being in these like heterosexual relationships that they've been in for years and them coming out and it actually being worth it, because I would say 100% it was the right decision for me and I'm glad that I did it. But at the time it was hard, so I thought that little Abby back then, she would have needed to see this. So yeah, why don't we just get right into it. Since starting high school, I pretty much always knew that I found women attractive, but I couldn't necessarily like envision what life would be like to have a girlfriend or to have a wife. I don't know, I feel like it's maybe just because we're shown so much more heterosexual couples on TV shows. I know like in like 2021 there's obviously way more, but when I was growing up you could see like the odd gay couple, but I would say it was usually gay men and it was few and far between. And the representation of lesbians that I feel like I saw when I was a lot younger was the very like butch or the very masculine kind of like stereotypical lesbian, which obviously I, with my little pearls, I do not fit into that stereotype at all. I guess that I never saw myself like that because, well, if you don't see it, it's hard to imagine your future when it's something that you've never been exposed to, I guess I'm trying to say. But anyway, I could literally talk about this all day, so I'm going to try and be a little bit more concise. So I have always known that I've found women attractive, but I have never let myself really explore that much more than, you know, like kissing girls on nights out. I feel like even every straight girl does that. That's like a kind of normal thing to do in our culture. Like, you go to a bar, you kiss a girl and in front of the boys or whatever. Being affectionate with your female friends is very normalized. So other than that, I had never really explored these feelings within myself, and I always just thought, well, I want to have a family, I want to have kids, so I basically have to have a boyfriend, I have to marry a man, that's the only way. But spoiler alert, it isn't the only way. There are plenty of gay couples who have children. So I basically thought that if I wanted to have children, that was the only way. I was like, right, well, I have to marry a man because then I can have my family, and that's something that is really important to me. That is like my top, like, #1 goal for my life, is to have a family. I just had boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend. My boyfriend that I was with when I came out last year, we were together. We did have a breakup, but overall we were together for about 6 years, and I think we both thought that like this was it, and like we were going to be together forever, we were going to have a family together, we were going to get married. Like, we both thought that that was our future. I did mention to him things about like being attracted to women and things like that. He never had an issue with it. I think he just saw, you know, that I was like bisexual, which is fair enough. That's a decent assumption to make. That label just never sat right with me. And also, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I hated calling him my boyfriend. I don't know what it was about it. Well, I do now. But I never knew why, but I hated that. There was always part of me that felt like I had almost like missed an opportunity to take my life in a different direction. I felt like I wasn't fully being myself, but me and that boyfriend, like, we were like the best of friends, and I just thought that I would never find someone that I would get on with as well as I got on with him. And I just wished that I had explored my feelings for women before that we got together, because now we're 6 years into a relationship. We've got everything like planned out. It was like such a history together. I was like, why could I have not thought about this earlier on? Because now it's too late to change your mind. And it wasn't. It wasn't too late. I also, like, I couldn't imagine what my life would be like without him. I'm not gonna lie, I did feel like I was losing like my best friend, but it was for the best, and I am a lot happier now. I do have a girlfriend. So it was during lockdown really that I really started thinking about it, and like I could like questioning my sexuality. And I just kept thinking that I wish I would have figured this out sooner, like maybe when I was in high school or college. Like I wish I would have like explored things a bit more rather than just having like this dead set mindset of, right, so I've met this guy, like he's such, like we get on so well, so that's it. That's basically how I thought of it, and I wish that I had explored that like in high school, in college. Obviously I didn't, and it doesn't matter, like it's never too late. This is what I think now. It's never too late to find out something new about yourself, to start expressing yourself, to explore different aspects of yourself. It's never too late to do that. And if it's going to make you feel happier, if it's going to make you feel like more yourself, it's worth doing it. I would say no matter when in your life. Obviously I'm only 22, so I don't know. I think it's never too late. It's never too late to change what you're doing in life, like even if you want to change career or jobs or anything. I just think you need to be as true to yourself as you can, and that's what's going to make you the happiest. So just thought I would tell you about like the actual breakup. So it was during lockdown that I really started thinking about things, and I watch a lot of like family channels on YouTube, you know, just like couples when they're children and pregnant mums, and they do things like talking about their baby names and things like that. I love that kind of thing. I think it's just because I'm broody, so I'm like, oh, I need all the baby content to like fill that little hole, like live vicariously through these other families. And this couple came up. They're called Abby and Julia. They were pregnant. Abby was pregnant, not both of them. So Abby was pregnant, and I looked at their YouTube channel. I watched like their baby names that they loved, and then I watched like their wedding videos, and I started watching like just a few of their vlogs and things like that, and they seemed like such a happy couple, and they were a lesbian couple, and I was like, you can literally have that life that I want, but with a woman. Like, you can do that. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with it. And they live in Utah. Like, that's such a religious area, which you would think is so homophobic. And despite that, they are out there living their best lives. They have like a lovely little family. Their baby is absolutely adorable. And it basically just showed me that if you want that life, you can have it. It does not have to be with a man. You can have that with a woman. I don't know if this makes sense. That's basically how I felt. And I also really appreciated the fact that they weren't that like butch, like masculine stereotype of a lesbian. I did have a few conflicting feelings. I was like, am I just jealous of them because they are pregnant and they're having this baby? Or am I of the fact that it's two women in a relationship? I thought about it for a long time, and then I talked to my mum, and she was helpful. I talked to my friends, and then I spoke to my partner and I said that I think I'm a lesbian. I'm not gonna lie, if you're in that situation, it's never gonna be a nice conversation, because even if they are supportive, I can imagine that it might be hurtful to hear something like that from your girlfriend. At the same time, I also think that it's a lot better for that to happen now rather than in years' time when we had children, when we were married. So ultimately it was the right decision, and he was upset. He talked about like, well, maybe you're asexual, like maybe it's just you don't like the physical, like the intimacy and things like that. But I was like, it isn't that. You will know yourself better than anyone, and I just knew that it just wasn't that. And he said like, well, you're bisexual but you have a preference for women, and that just didn't sit right with me. And so obviously we did decide to break up. The scariest thing for me was the fact that we had been together for 6 years. He was my best friend, like he was a person that I would go to when anything happened. He was that person that you go to ask their opinion on something, the first person you'd ring if you had news. Do you know what I mean? They were the person you wanted to see every day, even on like the lazy days. And so it was a big change going from them being my very, very best friend to pretty much not speaking at all. But I can't describe to you like how I feel now. Like I feel so much more comfortable in myself. I do feel like, yeah, I don't know, I just feel like I'm being myself, and that I just feel like when we broke up, I was upset, like the loss of that friendship, but I just felt so free. I was like, I can actually be with who I want to be with. I can't describe that feeling. Like it felt like a weight had been lifted off me. I don't know if this is going to sound mean, but the fact that we were in that lockdown for so long and we hardly saw each other helped me in a way, because I got used to not seeing him every single day. So it made that transition easier, which obviously will not be the same for everyone. But so basically a couple of months later, I started going on dating apps and I met my girlfriend, and like it feels like things have like fallen into place. I don't know if that sounds really cheesy, but the one thing that I really want you to get out of this video is that no matter how hard it might seem at the time, you will get through. You will get through it, you will move past it. And if you are doing something that is real, like if you were coming out of a relationship because you've realised something about your sexuality, or maybe it's because actually you want to explore it to figure yourself out better. If you're doing it to be more yourself, if you are doing it like to be true, yeah, just to be true to yourself and doing something to make yourself happy, then in the end it's going to be worth it. I feel like I really needed to hear that when I was coming out. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it, my camera turned off again. It's because it's on the window ledge in the sun. So I just wanted to say that, like, if you're in a similar situation to the one that I was in, where you're in a long-term relationship and you really feel like you need to figure things out about yourself, I think it is really important to do that, whether it is taking a break or whether it's actually like separating and breaking up. I think that in the end it's going to be worth it, and I would recommend watching Elena Joy's video about, she called off her engagement and she left her fiance. She cancelled her wedding. I watched her video and then her like videos since then. I think she came out not that long ago, like not that long before I did, but seeing her do it just basically showed me that I can do it. But I would also just be careful to say that if you are younger and coming out is going to put you at risk where you're not going to have somewhere to live, or if it's going to put you in danger in any way, don't do that. Like, if that is the situation that you're in, you should maybe come up with a plan of what you're going to do rather than going out and just telling people that you're gay straight away, because I don't want anyone to watch my video and then put themselves at risk in any way. Luckily, I do have a very supportive family and I live at home with my parents, and I think that's pretty much everything I had to say in today's video. There is obviously loads more that I can talk about relating to this topic. I could literally go on and on for hours. There was so much that I could go into, but I'm just gonna leave it there for today because I feel like this is already a relatively long video and I've rambled on enough and my camera keeps dying, so I don't think I have much time. So I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope that it was useful to you. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below and I will either answer them in the comments or I might make some future videos talking about sexuality. And if you want to see any more like LGBT content from me now, before I make any more videos, you can follow my TikTok. I will leave that down below. And thank you for sticking with me through this. I know it's a bit of a jumble of a video, but thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did like today's video, and hopefully I will see you in a new video soon. Goodbye!